Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just for Women Africa. My name is Olaleko. I'm also the founder of Just for Women Africa. Today, we have an interesting interview from Senegal to Ghana. We have lost Mariama Touré, who is the founder of the dance hall. She'll be talking to us about her story and why she decided to create the dance hall and anything that comes up during the interview. So stick around and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Just for Women Africa. We have lost Mariam. Mariam, welcome to Just for Women Africa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lovely having you on the show.
Lovely being here.
It's been a long time coming. Before getting to the dance or your business, could you just tell us briefly about yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure. So my name is Mariama. I'm 36 years old. I'm from Senegal. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 11 years. I don't think that was meant to happen because I studied journalism. So I'm also a journalist. But my passion for dance brought me to entrepreneurship. So there you go.
Well, why just switch from journalism all the way to, the arts?
I don't think it's a switch. I think they're both part of me. I've actually been doing both for a long time. I'm still kind of into communication and journalism somehow. I don't think people should choose. I think when you love different things, you should explore different things. And whatever ends up happening and wherever your light ends up coming up, then that's where you should keep it. But yeah, both are still very much inside of me.
Okay. So could you tell us about the dance hall? Why did you decide to create the dance hall? I know it's started 11 years ago. It started off in Senegal. Could you tell us about the journey?
So the dance hall, I want to say it started kind of like by accident. I always danced since I was a very young girl. Dancing was actually the way for me to always distress, to forget about problems at school, problems at home. I'm an artist. I do write, I do poetry, I do a lot of things, and dancing was part of it. When I was younger in Senegal, I want to say it was easier for me to practice dance because I was young enough to just be out there in the streets with any street dancers. Then I went to college in France and then to Canada as well. And I discovered the environment of dance studios because in Senegal, there was no dance studio. So you would be dancing in the street, literally, or in social cultural centers with other people who are passionate. So when I discovered that the universe of dance studios, I just loved it. Everything was so structured. You knew your dance class would happen at this time. You knew all the different styles you could explore. And I fell in love with it and I kept dancing more. And then I got back to Senegal after 5 years when I finished college studies. And I just wanted to keep doing that. And I realized there was nowhere I could do that. I had gone for more than 5 years and nothing had changed. So if I still wanted to practice dance, then I had to go out there in the street. But now I was 20 something. I was a journalist. I couldn't just find myself in the street practicing dance with, young dancers. And I thought, well, Dakar is a very big cultural city. Why not open a dance studio? I've been there. I know what it looks like. And I'm sure people like me who have a passion for it, but who don't want to become professional dancers, they're not trying to be out there on the stages, I'm sure they would need a space like this. So that's how I actually found myself opening a space where I could dance.
Okay. So after you created the space, what happened next? How did you get people coming to the space to dance and learning about the dance hall, Senegal?
Yeah, the journey opening the dance hall Senegal was very different from the one that I'm in now. First of all, it took me a year to find a proper space because a dance studio has norms. The ceilings have to be high enough. You shouldn't have any beam in the middle. So it was really hard to find a space that was created or meant for that in Senegal. In general, in Africa, nobody builds gyms. Nobody builds those big warehouses unless it's actually to have an industry come in or something. So every time I was looking for a space, I was just finding 2-bedroom apartments, 3-bedroom apartments, nothing that was meant for dance. So a year later, actually, I was lucky enough to find a warehouse where they had moved out of the job they were doing there. And then I was like, okay, so because I had a year to find this place and to prepare like a business plan and everything, then now I can start looking into communication. It took us a few other months before we were able to start the activity, but during that time, we did a very big billboard campaign, which actually positioned us as a serious business straight up. Like, people were not used to dance studios. They were not used to coming in having like, okay, I have to pay, I have to register to pay. They're used to gyms, but they're not used to dance studios. So we didn't want them to feel like we were just an association, a group, like it's something fun, it's nothing serious. So that campaign lasted over a month. Billboards, radio, media tour, and we were able to reach out about 200 people on our opening day.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And what year was that?
That was 2013.
2013. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. 200 people is a lot of people. All right, because could you tell us, there's a story about you having to work for 2 years, 3 jobs. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah. So basically what happened is that I wanted to open a dance studio from the moment I arrived in Senegal. That was 2011, coming back from my college studies. And I talked to my mother about it, and she was like, girl, I didn't pay all this money for you to come back home and tell me you want to open a dance studio. So there was no way I was going to get money for that. In the first years of my research, I couldn't find a proper space. So all the spaces that were big enough or that I could like arrange and change so that it could be dance studio norm, they were very expensive. So that's when I started saving. I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I know for sure I don't have the money now. It was 2011. So I had to actually just prepare so that I could be ready for the moment I would find the space, and also the moment I would have convinced, I want to say, my family, because it took me a moment before I actually decided, okay, I'm doing it. Now they're convinced-ish, so I'll go for it. I think that took me a year. But during that time, I was already saving, and I knew that I would need, well, I would have to say that in CFA, so I don't know if that's a reference for your viewers, but I knew I would need about like 6 million CFAs. That's about $10,000. I was 24, just finished college again. Like, it's not like I had that money just sitting there waiting for me. So I started working for it, and I took 3 jobs. As I told you, I'm a journalist. So I used to be going in the morning just as a journalist. Like, I would be sent on site to just cover some events and stuff like that. I finished that. I was a digital strategist because I also had that communication aspect. You know, I absolutely love that. And there was a startup who wanted more people in the strategy part. And then at the end, I would write also like freelance article for an economy magazine. So yeah, I had to do all that just to be sure that I had enough funds so that I could invest in my passion, in my dream.
Yeah. How long did that take you? 2 years?
Yeah, that took me 2 years.
Wow.
And
you are so determined.
I am. But to be honest, even when like we were talking about mentors at some point last time when we met, actually, it's really interesting because even when I had the money, I had the space, I had such a fear. Like, my fear was so big, I didn't know what to do. So I actually talked to one of my mentors who back then didn't even think of himself as a mentor. I didn't even think of him as a mentor. That was just my big brother. He was my friend, older than me, an entrepreneur as well. So I was like, okay, let me ask this person. And we sat down, we had a whole conversation about why I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it. And I told him, I'm so scared, like, this is my savings for the past 3 years. If I put all the money in it and it doesn't work, what would I do? And he was like, girl, at some point you just have to jump in the waters. Like, you want this, you have to do it. Literally the next morning, I pulled out the money and I went. And I'm always saying, like, I'll always be grateful to this person because he gave me the last push I needed. Because I was just sitting there like, okay, I have the space, I have the money, but am I ready for this? Do I want to do this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank God for him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. So to our viewers who are watching, could you tell us exactly what goes on at the dance hall?
Okay, so the dance hall is an urban dance center. It is made for amateurs, but also professionals. It means you don't have to want to become a professional dancer, a Beyonce's dancer, to come to the dance hall. But if you do want that, then you can also come to us for training with other professionals. You can come to us to use the space. You can come to us so we can help you manage your career. You can come to us so we can help you find gigs and stuff like that. But the dance hall is mainly made for people who are just like me and you. It means you want to use dance as a mean to your well-being, as a way to just be in the movement, to feel free, to distress. Sometimes you do want to learn those new steps that people are dancing. Okay, fine, but you're not trying to become a professional. A lot of people love dance, but they are not trying to become professionals. But it's still a way for them to express themselves and to also just improve, I want to say, their mental and physical well-being. So this is what the dance hall is about, and it's about kids, it's about teenagers, adults, but also seniors. We have programs that are actually only meant for seniors through dance, how to stay agile, how to still, increase your mobility, how to just stay connected also to other seniors, how to have a fun time and things like that. Because obviously from a certain age, you don't find yourselves into clubs and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess you have instructors?
Yes,
who
we
help?
do.
How many do you have?
Oh, in Ghana or in Senegal?
Okay, we're in Ghana. So
in Ghana, we have 6.
And you have 6?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said for kids, from what age?
From 3 years old and up. I mean, you can walk, you can hear, you can talk. We take you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're open every day of the week?
We're open except for Sundays. It's church day.
Okay.
Just kidding. But yeah, except for Sundays, we're open from Monday to Saturdays. We usually open in the afternoon from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. on Saturdays. But we're also open in the mornings upon rental. Like people come and they can rent the studio, whether it's just for the space or because they have a rehearsal or they want to shoot something like a video or something. So we are available in the mornings, but our operating hours for the dance class with the instructors, like the calendar, it's from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the Dancehall Ghana. Why did you decide to set up a dancehall center in Ghana after you established one in Senegal?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it is part of our vision to go international, because we have realized in Senegal we were able to change so many people's life. Starting with the professional dancers, because we hire them as teachers, and it's another opportunity for them to generate income. This is something that was very, very impactful in Senegal, and we thought, okay, why not bring this to other countries? Because you don't have any other dance studios for real, who will employ dancers, professional one, and tell them, hey, listen, whether I have a student or not, you're gonna get paid. Just like when you go to work, and it doesn't matter like if the business is getting clients or not, you're still gonna get your salary. And we wanted that security for professional dancers as well. That's the first thing. So we wanted to go international. It's part of our vision, and we wanted to bring our energy also to people. We want to make dance available for everybody, not only kids because okay, they're young so they can dance. No, adults who don't want to go clubbing also they should be able to dance. And we also realized that through dance, we were empowering a lot of women. We loved it. We created some concepts that actually, I want to say, liberated the women from the gyms. They don't want to run on the treadmill, so they don't have to run on the treadmill. They can still get their workouts with dance, through dance. And we wanted to bring that to a lot of people. So that's the first thing. And then it was time to look at the countries. Like, okay, where are we going to go next? What will be our second, where will be our second dance hall? So obviously I went into a lot of countries. I started with the Francophone ones, so Mali, looking at Burkina, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo. And it wasn't fitting. It wasn't working for different reasons. First of all, because we wouldn't have enough dancers to work with for the team, instructors. The dance scenes in those countries was very, very small. And also we would have to do a lot of training, and there was not a lot of like variations in the style that they covered, so we would be stuck with one or two styles only, so it made it hard. Then you also have to think business, like as a target market, is the market big enough for people, I want to say middle class, to be able to just say, oh, okay, you know what, I want to do this as an extra activity and I do have the budget for it. So that also ruled out a few countries. So then we started looking at the Anglophone countries. We looked still West Africa because I feel like it's a region we know. So when you're just opening another branch, you don't want to go like completely in a zone that you know nothing about. And because I always thought that there was like cultural similarities in West Africa, I felt more comfortable. So we started looking at Anglophone countries, and then we saw Nigeria. We're like, that's too big. It's definitely not the right spot. We looked at some other countries. It wasn't working for us. And then Ghana. So came here a few times, met the people in the dance scene. The dance scene here is so big. So it means you have a lot of possibilities when it comes to human resources, like instructors. You have like a pool of dancers you can work with. And that was absolutely amazing because that is the only thing that guarantees the sustainability. Your activity won't stop because the teacher is not available. You have so many you can actually call on. And then the market and the culture, like culture is so vibrant here, just like in Senegal. People love dancing, they love music. Ghana today, when it comes to Afrobeat music, is like just following up on Nigeria, like they're on it. And we're like, okay, this makes sense here. And the middle class is also very big. It keeps growing. So yeah, all of that made us decide that Ghana would be the good spot to open the new branch.
Okay. All right. So you've opened a branch here in Ghana. Could you tell us what's it actually like doing business in Ghana as a foreigner and as a woman? What has your experience been so far?
So my experience has been very difficult, very hard. It's been harder than we expected on every aspect. I want to say, first of all, administrative, because we are, it's ECOWAS. We are still West Africans. And we felt like maybe we would have more facility, that it would be easier for us as Africans, West Africans, to come in here and open a business. But we realized that the regulations, the laws, they don't make any difference between an American, an Australian, and a Senegalese coming to do business in Ghana. So the ECOWAS system makes no sense here. That made things harder. Then it was very expensive to find, to open the business, like as a branch. The model also, it was hard to find a model because Ghana, that's something good, but Ghana does, like, they do protect Ghanaians a lot. So when you come in to open a business, you have to be maybe sharing it with a Ghanaian. There are laws that protect Ghanaians, but sometimes it's just, they overdo it. Like, to open a business here, you have to bring in 500,000 USD if you are like a foreigner, and then if you have a Ghanaian partner, then it's 300 or 200, and all that, like, is too much. They're not thinking startups, they're not thinking cultural businesses, I think they're just thinking industry and oil. So it made it hard on that side. We still found a model because we're opening a branch. So it's a bit different. We're exploring the market so far, so we'll see how it goes. Then, just connecting with people, it's been very hard. And I mean, we would be here for 2 hours if I was to tell you everything, but it's been hard. It's been hard, but we're still here.
Okay, so I'd like you to talk more about it, something which you just mentioned. You mentioned administrative. What's it exactly about administrative that makes it difficult, running a business here in Ghana?
Well, exactly what I told you. Like, first of all, finding the right format for your business. Like, what type of business am I opening? So that they don't ask me for 200 USD, 200,000 USD as like capital to start. So that part only is hard. Then even getting like your paperwork is hard. Like, we had to sign a power of attorney. Nobody knew who was supposed to sign it. Like, Registrar General would ask you, okay, I need the power of attorney to be signed in your country by the Ghanaian embassy. You go to Senegal to the Ghanaian embassy, they tell you, no, we're not supposed to do that. Then you come back here, they say, no, it should be the Senegalese embassy in Ghana. Like, I mean, everything.
Wow, I can imagine. So going through those hurdles, at the end of the day, how do you feel? Do you still feel that, opening a branch here in Ghana is worth it?
I mean, in French, they say, on est déjà né, which means we're already born. Like, what are you going to do? You're already born, So I don't want to go back on was it a good idea or not. I just want to believe very firmly that my intuition was good, that my market research was good, and that it's gonna make sense at some point. I just want to believe that.
All right. So now you're in Senegal, you're in Ghana. What's the future plans? Do you plan on what's going to be next country?
Well, this is a very funny question that you're asking me because, as I told you, it was part of our vision, right? And I always said, okay, I want an Anglophone country in West Africa, then East Africa, then South Africa. And I have changed my mind since my experience in Ghana. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. So ask me again in a year or two, maybe when I rest from this experience and I feel like I'm a new person. My team, they're always making fun of me. They say, oh, you're fine. In a few months, you're going to be like, okay, I'm on to the next one. I'm not sure. So right now, I can't say I'm not going anywhere. I'm done. But if anybody wants to come and buy a franchise there, feel free. I'm not even going to help them settle. If a member of my team wants to do this, I'll be very happy. I'll hand them all the paperwork. On paper, it says how you should do it. I'm not going. I'm exhausted, so I'm not sure I'll open another one. But again, the franchise thing is still a very strong idea. If we prove that the business model of international development makes sense, then maybe in other countries, when especially African countries, they start seeing culture as a serious thing, maybe somebody is going to think about, hey, let me just franchise it, and then it's fine. We'll do McDonald's and KFC type of thing. But as for me opening a new branch, I'm not there yet. I'm still recovering from this one.
I'm sure entrepreneurs who are watching this all over the world, listening to you, they're like, oh, don't mind her. She's just talking like every entrepreneur. I'm not going to do this anymore. But you see, in the next 2-3 years, she's probably in Kenya, in South Africa, and she's opening branches, and the money's coming in, and she's smiling, and she's forgetting. She said all this during the interview.
Well, wishful thinking.
Okay, Mariam. As we end the interview, what will your advice be to women all over Africa who are watching you, who want to be an entrepreneur like you, but feel the daily struggles of being a woman, lack of capital, the sexual harassment, and all? What would your advice be to them?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there is one advice I can give on all those different subjects, but one thing I know for sure is resilience is key to everything. There is nothing that actually goes according to exact plan in this life, whether it's family, business, love, kids, relationships in general. And as women in the societies we are in, especially in Africa, we face a lot of challenges, especially when we want something that is different from what the society has allowed or says we should do. So resilience, for me, is key. You have to be resilient through every challenge that will come your way, because you know where you're going. You have a clear vision and you believe in yourself. Not to say that you shouldn't believe in others, because I believe that actually we cannot go without each other, but it has to start from you. If you don't believe in yourself, it's hard to make those connections that actually will allow you to find people who are just like you, who you can trust and who can embrace your vision and your journey. So resilience and confidence, and those are not things you are born with. Those are things that you need to learn and cultivate.
Okay. And so our viewers who are watching, who are hearing from the dance hall for the first time, could you tell our viewers why Ghanaians should come to the dance hall?
They should come to the dance hall because, this is the place you'll have fun. This is the place you're going to be dancing, enjoying your life, learning all the new steps that you see on YouTube and you can't do. And you have your little brothers being like, oh, you don't know how to do this. So you can definitely come. It's a place where you connect with other people who are like you. It's a place where you free your mind. It's a place you reconnect as a couple. You can come to some salsa dance, some kizomba dance. You can reconnect with your wife or your husband. Have, that just different moment in the day than just our routine. So I believe those are the reasons why you should definitely come to the dance hall.
Okay. And where can they find a dance hall in Ghana?
So the dance hall Ghana is in Nigeria, but they definitely just should follow us on social media so that they can have the exact location, text us or something. So the dance hall Ghana is our Instagram, or our website is Ghana, the dance hall.sn for Senegal.
All right. Thanks a lot for being on the show with us, Mariam. We
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having
We look
me.
forward to interviewing again in the future.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely. Thank you.
Same here. And to your viewers who are watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, tell a friend who knows a friend about Just Women Africa, and of course, visit the dance hall. And Mariam will take good care of you.
Thank you.
To the next show, it'll be bye.
Bye.